Good morning, everyone. I am Ms. Republica Borgumai, Assistant Professor at Sam Downtown University, Guwahati, Department of Pharmaceutical Science. So today I will be discussing about the role of water and minerals in life sources. So here are these. So first of all, I will discuss about the role of water. So it constitutes about 60% of an adult's body weight. So body composition influences how much of the body's weight is water because there is more contained in lean tissue and less in fat. Water is an essential nutrient more important than any others. The body needs more water each day than any other nutrient. We can survive only few days without water, where a deficiency of other nutrients may take weeks, months, or even years to develop. Now coming to water and body fluids. So water in the body's life processes carries nutrients and waste products throughout the body. Water also maintains the structure of large molecules. It participates in metabolic processes and acts as a lubricant and cushion. It aids in the regulation of body temperature and maintains the blood volume. Now coming to the water balance and recommended intakes. So water intake. First point is thirst and satiety influence water intake in response to changes in the mouth, the hypothalamus and nerves. When there is inadequate water intake, the blood becomes concentrated, the mouth becomes dry, and the hypothalamus initiates drinking behavior. Thirdly, when water intake is excessive, the stomach expands and stretch receptors send signals to stop drinking. Then, when too much water is lost from the body and not replaced, then dehydration develops. Water intoxication is rare but can occur with excessive water ingestion and kidney disorders that reduce urine production. So, now coming to the point water balance and recommended intakes. So, the water sources and water losses, what it gives to the body, to the life processes, what it shows. So, water sources are obvious dietary sources of water and other beverages. Nearly all foods contain water. Fruits and vegetables contain about 90% of water. Meats and cheeses contain about 50% of water. Water is also generated during metabolism. Then water losses. The body must excrete at least 2 cups of water each day as urine, which is enough to carry away waste products generated by the body's metabolic processes. Water is also lost from the lungs as vapor and from the skin as sweat. Now, the recommendations of water. About 8 to 12 cups of water should be consumed by a person, which expands 200 kilocalories a day. Today, total water includes not only drinking water, but water in other beverages and foods as well. People who are physically active or live in hot environments may need more. Beverages currently represent over 20% of the total energy intake in the United States. Most people would well to select water as their preferred beverage. Some research suggests that people who drink caffeinated beverages lose a little more fluid than when drinking water because caffeine acts as a diuretic. So here research suggests that people who drink caffeinated beverages lose a little more fluid than when they drink water because caffeine acts as a diuretic. So now comes the health effects of water. So drinking water may protect against urinary stones and constipation. Even mild dehydration seems to interfere with daily tasks involving concentration, alertness, and short-term memory. The kind of water a person drinks may also make a difference to health, hard water versus soft water. Hard water has high concentrations of calcium and magnesium, which may benefit hypertension and heart disease. Soft water contains sodium and potassium, which may aggravate hypertension and heart disease. Now comes the overview of the minerals. So, major minerals. Major minerals are named so because they are present and needed in large amounts in the body. Although trace minerals are needed in smaller amounts, they are still vital to the body. Coming to the inorganic elements, we say unlike organic vitamins, which are easily destroyed, minerals are inorganic elements that always retain their chemical identity. Once they enter the body, They remain there until they are excreted. They cannot be changed into anything else. So in my next video, I will be discussing about the body's handling of minerals, its variable bioavailability, and for this video, it's up to this much. That's all. Thank you.